Thanks, Freak. I'm James Dash Patterson, and with me to break down the series is Joshua Jet Leesman. Just the two of us, man, in this one.
For now. And I mean, it said experts on this desk. I do think the Challenger scene experts are definitely Zyrene and Freak, but we're going to try to just kind of analyze this from just what we saw in this game mostly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the thing that I want to start off with is the fact that we saw the Trist, hyper carry, protect the carry composition come out that all the teams across both the LCS and the Challenger series are picking up now. And I want to talk about how that can be beaten at this point. Is it solved by a ban? I mean, is that what you have to do at this point?
We're going to see a lot of Tristana bans, I think, just in the future. But in this game in particular, a lot of it would just have to do with making sure you're building enough damage that you can actually execute this Trist. Yes, they did have a lot of shielding in the sense, just with the Orianna, but it wasn't as crazy as the one we saw from TSM yesterday that had the Lulu in the top lane and the Nami. It was just the Zillion that could save him, and it really wasn't a problem until that one ill-fated fight in the top lane.
Right, so you spoke to damage. I feel one of the things that I feel could have been done better on the side of Team 8 was to snowball that early lead by building more damage onto the Nocturne. He went very defensive very early, went straight from a Lizard Elder into a Randuin's, and then only followed that with a Hex Drinker for very little damage output.
They were strange choices. You and me were kind of talking about this. Every item build can work in the right circumstance, as we saw from Quas when he did Frozen Mallet, Bloodthirster on Nidalee after Trinity Force, right? But this Nocturne build, I've seen Lizard Elder, it was the Nocturne build before he made Feral Flare, right? So what kind of happened in the progression of this Nocturne build is Feral Flare came out, it was really overtuned. It got taken back, yet people are still just going it on Nocturne, even though he was successful with Lizard Elder. So when I saw that, I thought, that's totally fine. He's going to do that. Blade of the Ruin King, he's still going to be able to dive on and kill somebody. But then he did the Hex Drinker in full tank and completely fell off the face of the earth. When they dove in with Maokai and Nocturne, they couldn't even touch Tristana, and once that happened, the game was over.
Right, and then I want to touch on the point, though, too, that Porpoise Pops also focus so heavily in that top lane, as freaking Zyrene mentioned, that's generally the way they want to operate with Cali Trolls. But you have Maokai and Mundo in the top lane, and you're still allocating all your resources up there. You're allowing this Trist and this Orianna to just come to power and roll over you in the late game. So is this an adjustment that needs to be made in terms of, hey, look, they're going to go for these hyper carries. They're going to try and play tanks top. Maybe we ignore that. Let Cali play his game. Let's put the jungle focus somewhere else. Or do they have to just say, no, we're going to put Cali on someone with some damage, and we will go back to our normal focus top lane strat?
I think Team 8 has two options. They can either not do a tank v tank again, or they can just decide to focus another lane. I do think it would probably be beneficial if they did actually let Cali Trolls play something that could do a little bit more damage. That's more of Team 8's style. But honestly, they did make it to the finals, and they did 2-0 Team Coast, so they should be able to make an adjustment.
All right. And they also, though, there weren't a ton of jungle bans coming out there, so it's kind of an interesting pick with the Nocturne. I mean, I understand the dive potential there, the engage that you have from Mao and Nocturne, but also, like, early pressure junglers, right? Lee Sin, Elise, we're not seeing them as much anymore. Understanding that those nerfs did come through that hurt them a little bit, but not entirely too much. And so I'd be interested to see a little bit of that early game jungle pressure creep back into these games.
It could absolutely happen. Nunu seems to be king here in North America. Every region has their little pockets of their most powerful pick. Nunu is reigning supreme with how much dive and hyper carry there is, especially from the AD carry position. It's hard to dive through a Nunu. And he makes the guy more powerful, which has been king so far.
All right. Well, let's jump into a replay here. We're going to go 26 minutes into the game. We got a 4-for-1. This is an interesting choice here. Again, the focus onto the Mundo. If we can go ahead and roll this clip out.
It was absolutely the breaking point of this game. They had Slushy, so they had a lot of their damage there with the Nocturne, and they thought, let's just kill this Mundo. The tank will be gone. Then they can do whatever they want. Except Curse Academy came back at them. Notice that dive was done without any vision control, which was really the damning thing. And the extra bad thing was the fact that Impactful was able to pick up any kills here because A, that fight didn't work to pull off the next play, but B, this is the fight that Impactful got going on. And when we looked at the team compositions as the rest of the game played out, him getting these kills was the nail in the coffin, even though Curse Academy looked like they were losing the whole game.
Well, and that's the type of fight that you want on that team, right, that Curse Academy has, where you kind of wait out the giant damage burst potential and then chase it through to get those kills onto Tristana. One of the other things I noticed there is they went in, like you said, without the vision control, but also without an ignite to put down onto the Mundo. So again, just a really interesting choice in target selection when it comes to the team fight. They would have been much better off looking for a fight to go directly onto the Tristana at that point, who didn't really have any power.
The strange thing is, I think one of the things that makes Team 8 such a fascinating team and a fan favorite from a lot of the people in the Challenger scene is they make plays like that. Sometimes they work out fantastically. you do save gold and gain efficiency by being a little bit crazy with a lot of your plays. Sometimes that works out for Team 8, sometimes it doesn't. Inconsistency is rampant when you have that style of play.
All right. Well, all that being said, right, we have to give credit to Curse Academy for turning that game around. They played very well. I think that having a few of those veterans on the team probably plays into the composure that they played with. But looking into the next game, right, they're up 1-0. Yeah. What do we think that they're going to focus on here in order to continue their lead and take another game?
Yeah, I think they're just going to try and limit Impactful a little bit more. Impactful is the star of Curse Academy for the most part. St. Vicious has humongously large amounts of praise for that guy, and he showed right there as the main threat of the team. He was able to carry them through. If at the very least, I know there's important bans all over the map, probably a Tristana ban.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see the Tristana ban or the attempt at taking it away. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we return, it's Game 2 between Team 8 and Curse Academy for the Summer Challenger title. You won't want to miss it.
The knock by the Bunny Fubu. In goes Lushi. Exhaust is on. And there goes Maokai. Dragon already taken. There's a shockwave. Picks up one. That's Dodo going down. One more shot will do it. And that is the kill up now towards Lushi, who cannot quite trade back. Dodo is trying as well, but Impactful getting knocked up. Gets a double kill. Bubble's not going to land. Maple Street going to be going down. The revive forced on Impactful. Now it's a 3-for-0. The slow on the Dodo. Make that 4 kills.
All right. Good job, guys. Good job.